What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you guys that don't know, the startup I work for, Habits, effectively helps people out in America source and connect with financial advisors. And in this video, I'm really running through my involvement in how we select those people. So we have a whole selection committee in place, which is sort of consisting of people far smarter than myself that know a lot more about the financial sort of advice industry, know what to be looking for. But effectively, my job is to have the recorded call with these advisors, which is used in part of their application process. So you can kind of see the things that we are asking these advisors and the kind of data we're looking at when we are working out who is a good fit for our platform. Who do we want to extend the invitation to join? So in this call, we're actually going to run through one of those conversations. And yeah, I think kind of this was an interesting call for me. It was the third recorded call that day. We've got a lot of advisors reaching out at the moment, looking to join the platform, and it kind of prompted me to have a think about our sales process, because it was really one of the first times I've sort of been involved at all in sort of objection handling. Like the idea of, I love this platform. It seems really good. It's just a lot of money. It's one of the first times that I've kind of been dealing with that situation or having that conversation with someone that is kind of at that finish line. And so it has prompted me to think a little bit about our sales process, because at the moment we have this recorded call and then it's about a week before we hear back from our committee on whether or not they have been approved. And then we will just send an email going from there. I think what I'm likely to do actually is I might mix up our process and schedule another call for after, because I think there's a lot of objections that I think we can work through pretty comfortably once we know that an advisor has been approved. I think before that point, it's kind of all a bit of a hypothetical. So not like a huge amount to share. I think we're going to be mixing up, or I'm going to be mixing up our sales process over the next kind of few weeks. And so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this video is really more of just a bit of an insight into the kind of thing we look for in our advisors. So hope you enjoy. If you do like this sort of startup content, please do drop the video a like, subscribe, comment on anything you'd like to see more of. It really helps out the channel. It helps me out and helps me reach more people that would also be interested. So do drop it a like if you do find this sort of stuff interesting. But right, let's get on with the video. Right, recorded call number 3. Let's go. Hey.
Hey man, how's it going?
It's very well, thanks. Very well. What about you? Glad to hear it. Run any marathons recently, or
No,
keeping it chill for now?
So that's my next big.
Gotcha. That's the ultra, right?
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay. What's training for that look like? Like, how soon do you start properly like training specifically for that?
So right now.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And what does that look like?
Run.
Mate, you're a fucking machine. That's ridiculous. What the hell? Is there not like and this may be a stupid question, and maybe you're just past this point, but is there not an element of like over training almost, like doing that much this far out? Is that not a danger?
I don't really believe in overtraining.
Okay, gotcha. You kind of strike me as that kind of person, which I love. I'm not sure how much you remember from our chat last time. Effectively, the purpose of this call is every advisor looking to join the platform has to get the approval from our selection committee. So this call will go through, candidly, there'll be a fair amount of repetition from what we spoke about last time. I think I spent a lot of time talking in last week's conversation. So this time I'll maybe turn the mic to you a little bit more, and we'll focus a little bit more on your side of the equation. So like the services you provide, the fee structures, the clientele, their experience. So like, let's say someone comes through Habits, books time on your calendar, what does it actually look like for them, and all of that sort of stuff. And then we'll go through any questions you may have as well at the end. So anything you want to add, anything you think I've missed, or all sound good? Okay, well, do you maybe want to start off by just recapping a little bit of your background, because I know you've got an interesting one, like the athletics, and then joining the financial industry at possibly the most turbulent time in the last decade and a half. So, yeah, do you maybe want to run through all of that? Yeah, no, exactly that. And so correct me if I'm wrong. I have in my memory as well. You mentioned you love like sales guys, sales execs as well. Have I made that up?
Yeah, no. So I do like so I just really relate to that.
Yeah, love that. And the reason I asked is just because candidly, that's going to be such an easy thing for us to build your profile around. Yeah, for sure. And couldn't agree more. I think you maybe touched on this already, but the services that you guys tend to do, investment management, financial planning, anything you think is particularly noteworthy, either stuff that you do focus on or stuff that you don't tend to work too much with. Yeah, no, all good. Makes a lot of sense. And so for that service, how is it you guys tend to charge? Nice. And in terms of then those flat fees and those sort of assets under management charges, it's obviously going to vary a lot based on sort of a case by case basis. If you had to kind of sort of throw a ballpark figure out there of what you would typically expect to be charging someone coming through. You touched on it a little bit there, but I'd love to dive a little bit deeper. So when someone comes through, let's say someone's coming through the Habits platform, they love your profile, they meet all of your criteria, and they book time on your calendar. What's their experience going to look like? Beautiful. So pretty robust sort of onboarding that you guys do. So at what point in that process would they kind of sign, pay, and things like that? Once they've become a client, you've mentioned a couple of times already in this call, like the number of meetings and things like that will vary a lot on a case by case basis. Typically speaking, like what should clients expect from that year, like as a client with you? Beautiful. Okay, yeah, makes a lot of sense. And so you mentioned already kind of what I'm assuming is likely to be the bulk of this tech stack that you guys use. Any other kind of major noteworthy things that you guys use? And then I guess from a communication standpoint, like how can prospects communicate with you? And so then in terms of your current situation, like with your current book, how many households are you working with at the moment? The reason we're on this call is because look, you're wanting to grow. You're wanting to bring the right people on, the right clients in. So what's your long-term goal? Like, why are we on this call? Because I think beyond just like I want more clients, that's kind of a given, that's obvious. Like what's your ambitions for this career?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Okay, and yeah, I'm glad that that kind of was your answer, because that aligns so nicely with our, I think, approach of look, we're not here to put you in front of everyone and anyone. Like our goal is to help you grow very deliberately. I guess to wrap that point up, the people that you work with, you shared how you do charge and like the fee structures and things like that. In terms of sort of asset minimums, income minimums, things like that, do you have those hard minimums in place, or maybe positions where it just makes sense if they're above this? Beautiful. Okay, and so we'll dive a lot deeper into that point in particular in the onboarding call when setting your profile up. The whole point of Habits is to only really be putting you in front of people that it is going to make sense for you to have those conversations with. The other aspect to it as well, which you mentioned already, is like those high earners, I think, can inherently have a load of complexity coming in even without the assets. I mean, we have a lot of people coming through working in startup fintech sales, and it's like not only do they have the variable comp where one month they might earn 3k, the next month they might earn 23k, they also likely have some equity comp involved, all of that planning to do. So yeah, I think that aligns very nicely. No, exactly. And candidly, that's why the vast majority of the people coming through are coming through, because they've reached that point where they know they need that.
Yeah, it's like, let us do our jobs so you can do yours better.
Beautiful. Okay, I think that kind of goes through the vast majority of like the technical stuff that we needed to cover for this recorded call. Want to make sure we've got the opportunity to go through any questions. When we spoke last week, the sort of impression I got was, look, this seems like a very good fit. You obviously were sort of like, look, I need to digest it. I need some time, maybe go through the deck and sort of review it, because I don't want to say, oh yeah, I'm in this first conversation we're having. Where's your head at? Like, any major burning questions you've got? Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I think we're in a good spot then, in the sense of, look, we know it's feasible if you decide you want to. So I guess let me ask you, what's holding you back at the moment in thinking, oh, this is a no-brainer? Like, what's the hesitation in your mind?
It's still a big check.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely very enticing. I just kind of have to, again, think through the financial aspect of it.
Gotcha. Okay. Is it a product value situation or is it just the price point?
No, it's I want to make sure I get a return on it.
There's nothing I can see that would make them think this is not going to be a great fit. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I guess it seems like you're excited, but undeniably there is a nervousness about, look, I'm about to spend $10,000. That's not a nothing situation. So I completely get it. It's very natural to be feeling that way. I'd be concerned a little bit if you weren't. But also, I think then you've got to think about the reason you're doing this. Like I said, we look at this first year as a way for us to justify the price we're going to charge you next year. Because don't get me wrong, it's going to be a hell of a lot more. Sounds good. So understand completely. You need to have a think about it.
Yeah.
I guess in your head, time frame wise, our next available subscriptions are starting September 1st. The next ones technically are August 1st. That's like we closed them off a couple of weeks ago. So the next ones are September 1st. We have 3 that will be made available. So 3 subscriptions. And I can absolutely hold one for you, but I have had 4 of these calls in the last 2 days of people going through the selection committee. 100%. Okay, so there's no questions you've got for me.
I don't think so. Again, I think the deck provides a lot of the value that I need, and a lot of the insights, and I think we've covered basically everything. So no, I think I'm all good.
Okay, beautiful. You've got my email? Have you got my cell? Perfect. And so, did you want me, assuming we get the green light, which I'll be able to share with you on Friday, the committee meets on Thursday nights. So assuming we get the green light, did you want me to set one of the 3 aside for you? I can probably hold it for a week or so before I'd need to open that up to the other advisors looking to join.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to set one aside for you.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, beautiful. I'll make a note to do that. And so then really all it would be is we'd need within a week, really. So by the end of next week, we'd need an idea of, Matt, let's move forward with September 1st, or we'll hold off for now.
No, that sounds good.
Perfect. All right. It's been an absolute pleasure. Don't run too far. Like, don't kill yourself out, but it sounds like you've got that covered.
I won't. I only got like 10 miles this weekend, so that's an easy one.
Oh, mate, it's just silly to me. Beautiful. All right. It was a pleasure. Speak soon, and enjoy the rest of your week. Okay, guys. So as you can probably see, we dive into quite a lot of depth. This is just the surface. There's we do a whole background check, all of this sort of stuff, when bringing advisors onto the platform. And so I think it's quite interesting to know what goes into building habits and what maybe you guys don't see behind the scenes. So if you are in America and have any interest in working with a financial advisor or think it's something you may want to do, definitely go check the platform out. You can go through it completely on your own. It would take you like 5 minutes to go and get 3 or 4 calls with some great advisors booked in. Or if you'd like, you can book time with a member of our team and we'll walk you through the whole process and make sure you don't have any issues, have any questions or anything like that. So feel free to go check it out. Like I said at the start of this video, if you like this startup content, please drop a like, subscribe, and I will see you next week.